by Cordell Farley, Life Lessons of a Throwaway Kid. I was having some problems, family issues that most young adults deal with, and I could not figure out how to work with someone who couldn't work with me. And when it comes to Cordell, it's a section in his book where he has to make a decision whether he's going to bring a new member of his family around the family he's grown up with, basically with unrequited love, him loving them and trying to be the best he can be for them and not receiving any acknowledgement or recognition for it. So while reading the book, I just could not fathom waking up every day knowing that someone I love doesn't love me and then continue to go on. But Cordell really shows you how to be the bigger person and how to take what you're given and make it the absolute best that you can. So after reading this book, I was able to reassess my situation and see that it could always be worse. And even if it was worse, it's up to me to make the best of it and not to throw away someone who has thrown me away, because it just will strengthen you as a person so that you're able to work with them and show them why you're worthy. And even after, if they don't see why you're worthy, you'll know your own self-worth and you don't have to worry about getting the approval from anyone else, rather it be a family member, a friend, a lover, anyone. Cordell really, really makes you pull from the inside what you never knew you had. And I appreciate him for spilling his guts, in a sense, in this book, because he doesn't leave anything to the imagination. If you want to know it, he's going to tell you, no matter how risque or unorthodox it may be, it's the truth, and he wants you to see it. So if you're having any problems with your friends, family, a lover, any situation you can imagine, you can pull it out of this book to realize.
The thing that stood out to me about Life Lessons for a Throwaway Kid is that the author Cordell Farley was able to hit a straight lick with a crooked stick. He was able to take a bad hand and make a good situation come out of it. The things that related to me in the book was his perseverance and consistency through his struggles and his ability to still keep a positive attitude and keep moving forward, and his ability to understand that no matter what he was going through, it wasn't going to be permanent and that he was going to be able to get through that. Cordell mentioned that he had a career in baseball, and many times the organization did not allow him to play to his strong suits, and they did not play him or use him in the way that he would like. But he was able to still maximize his situations and become successful within the organization. And the way that relates to me is in being in the military, I am often put in situations where I don't have the autonomy that I would like or the ability to make decisions to maximize my strengths. I am given a situation or a task and told to make the best out of it without having all the equipment or the resources I would like. And oftentimes, being in a system like that, it creates a certain strain upon you. And what Cordell said that he did when he was feeling that strain or that pinch was that he would ingratiate himself into the community and take the focus off himself in order to make somebody else's life a little bit better. So I was at a point in my life where I wasn't feeling too great about myself, and I read his book for a second time. And that chapter where he talked about ingratiating himself into the community stood out to me. So what I did was I took that opportunity in my own life to put myself into the community. And what I noticed was that it gave me an opportunity to not worry about my own situation as much and instead focus on other people. And I realized that all we have in this life is the connections that we build with other people. And so, regardless of what's going on, what I have learned is that you have control of your attitude towards a situation. So if you're able to keep a positive attitude, stay consistent, and keep moving forward, you will be all right. And that's exactly what Life Lessons of the Throwaway Kid is all about.
Hi, I'm Avante, and I just want to tell you a few things about the book that I enjoyed. Um, the book to me was very interesting. It spoke on so many levels about perseverance, um, getting through life as obstacles come to challenge you, and I admired how Cordell took the negative things that was going on in his life and mustered it into positive things. Um, the perseverance to me spoke to me and related to me in a way because as I was growing up, it was times where I didn't feel that I had the support that I needed. And in his book, he speaks about mental toughness. And I think that is so wonderful because at so many times, especially young people, we don't really understand that we have to go through things in order to build ourselves up and to make ourselves stronger because challenges are always going to come. You're always going to be faced with more. And the greater you become, the harder your obstacles become. So the mental toughness to me, it was just a way for me to maneuver through what I was going through personally. And he also spoke on that God, which I'm a very spiritual person, God places you where you need to be. And when I came to college, I couldn't figure out why, I couldn't start earlier and why I was the age that I was when I first started. But as I grew and as I went through my process, I learned that I wasn't just there for me, but I was there for other people. So, just like the book, I don't know if he did it for himself or he did it for other people, but it definitely spoke to me in a way that I always can go back and I always can recollect on what he said about, going through things and, getting in your secret place and praying and knowing that, knowing your worth, knowing that you're greater than your circumstances and knowing that your circumstances don't define who you are or where you'll end up being eventually. And I do believe that God places you in certain situations, and there's nothing that you can't do. Your biggest competitor is yourself. So I was very excited when I read the book, and it was very interesting.
Memoir, Life of Lessons of a Throwaway Kid. Um, I thought the book was very great. It definitely has impacted me in the way I look at life and lessons that come from everywhere, school, life lessons, lessons of being in a relationship. He talks about those things in this book. He gives you, his story, and he's very transparent in his story and his struggle throughout life, wanting to help others. And I always appreciate stories that tell you that it's okay to fall. Everybody falls, and I feel like in society, nobody shows you that they've fallen. They only show you that they're at the top, and they don't show you how they gotten there. They don't tell you, they've fallen and you're falling, and it's okay because everybody falls and everybody doesn't have it together. Everyone keeps the lessons that life teaches them to themselves. So that's why I'm doing a book review on this book, because he's giving you his life lessons and telling you and showing you that it's okay to fall, and it is okay to get up too. It's going to be hard to get up, but it has to be done, or else you won't be able to grow in life. In the back of the book, he has 8 life lessons that he's learned through life. A few of my favorite ones are change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will eventually change. And that's basically perspective. Don't Things are never as bad as they seem. If you change the way you look at it, eventually it'll change. And perspective is everything. So if you change your perspective and how you look at something that is hard or a challenge, if you change the perspective, you'll be able to look at it differently and maybe see that challenge as more of a lesson instead of something hard and challenging that you have to get through. Because most of the times we go through things to learn a lesson, and if you don't learn that lesson, then more than likely you're going to go through that challenge again. Another one is, even when things aren't going your way, always be prepared, because you never know when your number will be called. That's basically saying stay ready so you don't never have to get ready. Whatever you're trying to do, always be ready. Don't ever say, oh, I have to do this. Just be ready so when your number is called, you're ready to go. You're ready to conquer whatever you want to conquer. And accomplish any dream that you're trying to accomplish. Just always stay ready. Um, Use life's challenges as a stepping stones to build yourself up rather than excuses to lean on. This spoke volumes to me because I'm one of those people who use excuses and usually get away with using them, but that only hinders my process and your process too. I mean, if you only rely on excuses like I can't do this because of my circumstances, but in the book, Cordell has many circumstances that you wouldn't think he would be able to conquer them, but he does, and that's one of the life lessons that he learned. Your circumstances don't define you, but if you let them, they will. Life is what you make it. And if you rely on your excuses and say, oh, I have a kid, so I can't go to school. Oh, I have a kid, so I can't work. Those are excuses, and those are only going to hinder you in your process. So use them as a stepping stone. Don't use them as a roadblock. Step on them and keep moving. Don't stop there, because then you'll stop there, 10 years will pass, and you'll be like, what? Where has the time gone? But there are other life lessons in here that you're going to have to read the book to find out. But I really hope you go get the book. It's an easy read. Thank you for your time.